Look, when it comes to practice and getting better at a skill, we all know that simple repetition is not enough. Just putting in more bad reps is not enough to help you get better. And so people have went a step further and have said that it's not practice that makes perfect, it's deliberate practice that makes perfect. And deliberate practice simply means that you're focusing on the individual bits of the skill that you're trying to build, and you're doing targeted practice on those individual pieces, right? But in this video, I want to challenge that belief too, because I don't think deliberate practice is enough either. I don't think it's enough to help you become dangerously skilled at something. And I'm going to give you an example from my own life, because I've noticed this firsthand. So right now, I'm in a kind of like a social season in my life where I try to go out more, I want to meet more people, I want to be more friendly overall, but more than that, more importantly, I want to get better at speaking and communicating. And so I found this guy online, his name is Vin Jiang, he's a keynote speaker and communication expert, and he's really cool. Like, he's explaining things so clearly, and he's also very easy to follow. Very, very friendly and engaging guy. So I got his course, the Stage Academy, and started practicing the individual bits of what makes a great speaker deliberately. Okay? And sure enough, I actually got better because, first of all, I became aware of what makes a great speaker in the first place. I had no idea. Like, if I listened to somebody speak on a stage or just in the day-to-day life and they were engaging, they were charismatic, I had no idea what makes them so good. But now I do. Now I can notice specific patterns or specific elements of an engaging speech, and I was able to practice those individual bits by myself at home. But you know what happened? After a few weeks of daily practice, I noticed that I kind of stagnated. You know, I was still doing my practice, but I wasn't getting any better. It felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again. And because of that, I also found it harder at a certain point to stay consistent as well. Like, it required much more willpower to do these practice sessions because I didn't feel like there was a point to them. Okay, and maybe this has happened to you too in whatever skill you're trying to get better at. And maybe, just maybe, you know a person who doesn't seem to work as hard as you do, who doesn't seem to put in as much effort as you do, and still is progressing much faster for some reason, okay? And so, what is the difference here? What makes those two approaches different, and what is that guy doing differently to get better much faster? And I'll tell you what is different. The difference is, or the difference stands in stakes. So doing your practice in a circumstance where there are stakes, okay? Because think about it. If you think about it, if there are no stakes, if there's no pressure, if no one is watching, essentially, then it's so much easier to slack off because you don't care about the outcome that much. Even if you fail, like, nobody's watching, so there's no consequence, so to speak. So your brain kind of relaxes. Because there are no stakes, the amplitude of your performance, so how effectively or how well you're performing inside a single practice session, is damaged. Like, the amplitude is lower. And also, the lack of stakes also hurt your consistency. Not your consistency, but your retention. So how the information is received and how it is saved in your brain or muscle memory over time, it's much slower. And so, after realizing this, I decided to create this channel. Like, that's the only reason why I created this channel, if I'm being honest here, because I wanted to get better at speaking, and I wanted to do so in a way where there are stakes. You know, even if I get no views on these videos, even if no one is watching this, the simple fact that I have to sit down and record myself and also publish this video on YouTube kind of makes it a little bit uncomfortable, you know? At some point there could be one person somewhere around the world who sees one of these videos, and if I don't perform well, I'll make a fool of myself. And obviously nobody wants that, so my brain is kind of tricked into being more active, into doing its best to perform well, okay? And yeah, that helps a lot. And if I'm being honest, that is also introducing a lot more motivation in the process, because besides the whole practice thing, this this whole posting videos on YouTube is great because it helps me track my progress at the same time. By posting videos daily for God knows how long, hopefully as long as possible, you're able to go back and notice your progress at any point of the journey. So that's amazing, but I also look at this channel as a diary of all the ideas, all the lessons that I'm learning along the way, or things that I'm reading in books and that I'm discovering by myself through experience, and I'm putting it all together in this channel. So it's kind of like a nice diary of uploading my wisdom on the internet, if I can say like that. That's where the name of the channel comes from. So it's really cool for me. I really enjoy it. It makes the process much more fun, which also means it's so much easier to be consistent, which is a very important part of the process, right? Now, if you're still not convinced that practicing under stakes just makes your body and your brain perform so much better, then let me leave you with this thought, or rather with this image, with this mental image. So, when I was little, I remember I always wanted to race my friends. So we would line up and we would start running and see who's faster between us, right? And obviously there were some stakes there because as every other kid, I wanted to win. I wanted to be the best. So that's amazing. But now I'm going back to another moment in my life where I wasn't racing my friends. Instead, I was being chased by a massive dog. That dog was chasing me and probably was looking at me like his next meal, right? And so in that moment, because I obviously didn't want the dirty teeth of that dog inside my leg, and I didn't want to be dinner for that particular animal, obviously I was running much faster. There was so much adrenaline in my system that at that point I wasn't even running anymore, I was flying down the road. And that's because there were higher stakes. I didn't want to die right there. Maybe you don't die if a dog bites you, but it certainly isn't a pleasant experience. So the stakes were higher, I performed much better. Okay? And so as a conclusion, as a takeaway thought to this video, I would say that if you want to get better at something, you don't always have to practice more. Volume isn't always the bottleneck here, or the thing the thing that's missing from the equation. Sometimes you just need to introduce higher stakes in your existing practice sessions or practice schedule. Okay? Just introduce higher stakes so your brain and your body can perform better, and so your nervous system retains the information so much more effectively. All right? Just introduce higher stakes and you're gonna get better in no time. Hopefully this has helped you, but we're gonna see each other in the next video. So until next time.